Captain Hanna Winterborne always wanted to be a soldier. She's served all over the world, including in Afghanistan, with the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. But when she joined the army, Captain Winterborne was a man.
Ever since I was young, I knew there was something not quite right. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin to a complete degree. But at the same time, it wasn't really until sort of university time, when I was around sort of 18, I was really starting to get uneasy about living a male life and starting to think about maybe living a female life instead.
Captain Winterborne is transgender. She was born physically male but felt female.
I think the biggest misconception about being transgender is that it's some form of being gay, when actually it's far more about your identity as you feel inside rather than your sexual preference. For example, you can be transgender and straight, but you can also be transgender and gay.
In 2009, she joined Sandhurst Military Academy and began training to be an army officer.
I was put into a very masculine environment during my time at Sandhurst. I essentially suppressed lots of my sort of feminine traits. For me, having to put away my true identity and pretend to be someone else was difficult.
Keep it going, Nick! Keep it going!
As a junior officer in command of a unit of soldiers, Captain Winterborne continued to keep her femininity a secret.
The only way that I could carry on living a life as a male was to have very private time behind a locked door, starting to experiment, maybe through cross-dressing or talking to people online. I was almost leading a double life.
But that double life couldn't continue when she was posted to Afghanistan in 2011.
That private life that I managed to fashion for myself back in barracks, that went when I was in Afghanistan. And living in a room with 6 men meant that there was no downtime for me, and it was constant. And that just really pushed me to that sort of tipping point. And then eventually it gets to the point where it's make or break time. And it was a case of carry on this lie and I'm going to end up in a mess in the future, or time to do something about it, time to break free from those shackles, if you like, and become the person I was supposed to be.
Captain Winterborne decided to become a woman, but before she could begin the physical transformation, she had to tell the army.
Walking into that office, knowing that I was about to tell my commanding officer that I was transgender, it was so nerve-wracking. I saw him as a representative of an army, which I thought was going to be very anti what I was about to say, but I couldn't have been more wrong.
Senior army officers briefed the battalion on Captain Winterborne's change of gender.
We did it in an informal manner, so everybody had a chance to air their questions, and if there was any concerns to bring those out. And it was as simple as, this is going to happen. On Friday, Captain Winterborne will be Sir. On Monday, Captain Winterborne will be Ma'am. And we did it in a very matter-of-fact way, and it all went very smoothly.
Hello, Ma'am. Thanks, Kenny.
All the soldiers were briefed quite clearly exactly how to react and what they're supposed to, how they're supposed to act. So some of them may have found it difficult to start with. Given 1 or 2 days, that they got used to the idea.
The soldiers that I've commanded have been brilliant. They're a bit surprised, a bit shocked at first. And yeah, they made mistakes at first. They used to call me Sir and he still, but it wasn't out of any malice. And a week later, it was pretty much the normal and everyone was just getting on with their jobs.
I think people view the army as quite a macho, male-driven organisation, and for her to make that decision in this organisation, I think is really, really brave.
Today, Captain Winterborne is the Army's highest-ranking transgender officer.
Taking on the role as a transgender representative for the British Army, and I get the chance to stand up there and say, look, I'm an army officer and I'm transgender. Whatever you want to do in your life, you can achieve it, regardless of being transgender. This is me, this is the way I was born, and this is the way I was meant to be. All that it took was for me to understand that about myself and have the courage to do something about it.